Here's what we're going to do. Matt's got a question for TJ. We're going to get to him, and then we'll ask some of the TJ Lang critical questions. Some of them are fun, and some are very relevant. So, Matt, 97.1. Go ahead, brother. What's going on?
Hey, Teach. Good seeing you at Killer's Christmas the other weekend.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
I survived Wojo's gin and tonic that he makes me every year now, 2 years in a row. So
Very much tonic in that, is there?
No, it's gin and splash tonic. I have a quick question. I've called in the show a couple times, shared with Mike before, about Ben Johnson and the Lions using both running backs at the same time. Greg Cosell at ESPN on the NFL Game Day ran a clip on the Packers running it with Bucky and White down there. And I noticed last week, I got excited. The first drive of the game, they got right to the red zone, 20-yard line. They ran a pony package. Both running backs. Montgomery took off. Gibbs split out to the right. And everything was great. Seemed like the defense was a little confused. Hate to say it, but Ragnow looked like he missed his block downfield. Otherwise, it was a touchdown. But they ran it two other times in the game. I've talked to beat reporters about this, and they've brought this up a couple times. I just wanted to get your take as an O-lineman. What are the pros and cons of doing it, and do you think it's anything that they should be doing more or maybe saving for surprise situations? Because the 3 times last week, I was happy to see it.
Yeah, I think the pros are you get 2 of your best players on the field at the same time, right? And now you're throwing the defense into a bind, right? If all of a sudden you got Montgomery in the backfield and Gibbs splits out wide, what do a lot of teams do? They send their linebackers out to cover those guys, running backs out of the backfield, right? Now you're throwing them in a bind. And we saw it a little bit on the touchdown pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown later in that game where he lined up in the backfield. He got a one-on-one with the linebacker, came out of the backfield. He didn't get the touchdown, but it allowed Tim Patrick to get up wide open underneath. I think what that does, it allows you to buy eye candy to a lot of other players on the field and set up other one-on-ones and set up Tim Patrick and set up Jamison Williams because they're drawing a lot of attention. So, and look, it allows you to get those guys in space too. You know what I mean? I think one of the times they did it, Matt, was they faked a run one way with Montgomery and then came back with the screen the other way with Gibbs. And now you allow them to get into space a little bit, get your athletic offensive line out in front of them. So I think it can be a benefit. And look, I think if Ben Johnson last week, we've seen it a couple times this year, but maybe last week was the time, okay, we start revving this package up a little bit, and then every single week you start to build off of it. And maybe next week you see a wrinkle off of that, right?
How many times a game can you run that? How many times a game can you run that, you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't think you really put a limit on it. I don't think you want both those guys on the field the entire time, right? Those guys are those are your workhorses. You got to make sure they rotate. But if you can get, 5, 6, 7 snaps out of that and throw off a defense a little bit and confusion and get that play action in the game.
Yeah, I don't think they're worried about. I don't think they're worried about showing their hand to the rest of the NFL.
No, I don't think it's that, but maybe just a couple wrinkles.
They put up their plays and hey, this is what we call out. We don't care.
Oh, we're throwing the ball. Okay,
yeah.
Wait, are you telling me knowing the other team's plays isn't a big deal?
Yeah. Respect. If I had a hat, there you go. That was good, TJ.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the 2 running back package, you get 2 of your better players out on the field at the same time, right?
But you also don't want to get away from who you are.
Oh, I get that.
And how it is. But no, it's a good trinket to throw.
Yeah, if you can throw a couple, like you said, a couple cute plays off of that. Maybe it's a one explosive play that can be a difference in some of these games. Yeah.
I don't hate it. You want the NFL football player question? Do you want the TJ Lang career question? Don't be looking.
Can I bet these?
Do you want the...
You should.
Or the origin story question or current affairs?
Oh, current affairs.
Or boy. Question.
Let's start with origin story for 100.
Okay. Even though you weren't born in super rural areas, you do have hillbilly tendencies. I wanted the question, did you see what Xavier Legette said on the Amon-Ra St. Brown podcast about how he hunts, kills, skins, and eats raccoons? I know Kenny's a big fan of possums too. I wanted your take.
Kenny's just sitting there minding his own business. Sorry.
That's called a stray.
I just sat down. I was minding my own business.
Has raccoon ever made an appearance at a Lang holiday?
No.
Okay.
No.
Would you ever eat such a thing?
No, those things are nasty.
Exactly.
Dude.
So
No,
here it
those
comes
things
to
live in trash
my
cans.
last question is then Xavier Leggett must be released. I cannot have someone on my team eating raccoons. That's
how like diseases get spread.
Bro, I couldn't believe what I was listening to. It was unbelievable.
I'm with you. No, that was something.
From what I could understand, I mean, his accent too. That Southern accent
is like nothing I've ever heard. Okay.
Oh no, trust me. My father enforced that point to me as a child.
Whoa.
Never ever eat any coon.
He's
ever.
got like that old prospector. Southern.
Let me give you the NFL question.
All right.
We all think Josh Allen's incredible.
Yes.
As a former offensive lineman, how much of a pain in the ass is it to know the play's never dead because the guy behind me could be doing cartwheels, pirouettes, going sideline to sideline. So you got to maintain your block, but you can't get upfield. Like, how hard is it to learn how to block for a guy like that?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, it strains you. It does. And even, the 8 years with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he certainly was no Josh Allen, right? But even in his prime, I mean, he was a more mobile guy and agile guy than I think a lot of people gave him credit for. But that's in the back of your mind, You're sitting there blocking, and it's like a 3-step drop, and you're like, okay, free play, as long as I don't completely whiff. Right, this is a plus,
and it's
and then all of a sudden it's
seconds.
like, what is going on back there? And you're reading like body language, and it's like, good Lord, dude, throw the ball. But I would say it does get frustrating. But when you're playing with guys like that, it's like you're like, okay, if we extend this play, like it's going to be a home run, right? So that's kind of the other side of that coin is, okay, if we do have to do scramble drill and run around for 9 seconds, he better make a big play, which Josh Allen certainly does more than not.
Your career or current affairs?
Current affairs. Yeah. Jersey. Oh, man. You're more up to speed with that than I am.
These drones, this story, it has dominated our show.
Yeah, it's got to be, my theory, it's got to be like a government-run operation. Like, 'cause there's no panic or anything. They're like, okay, yeah, we know. Like, we're keeping an eye on it. Blah, 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 blah,
They're not saying anything.
Yeah, but that
tells me, you know what?
That lets me know it's probably them testing out some sort of new equipment or something like that.
The right people know. Hey, what's it? Don't worry about it.
Don't ask questions.
Right. Look at your paycheck. You're not
strictly classified.
Yes.
I think if it were something serious, like a couple years ago, remember that like crazy balloon that was flying over the entire
over
country?
Alaska or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, that was more concerning, I think, to me, because people were like, okay, yeah, we're keeping an eye on it. We're monitoring this thing. We don't really know what it is, but, we got fighter jets, like, up there just in case. This whole drone thing is just,
and the size
nobody
of
really
SUVs.
knows, but we're just watching it.
All right, last one. Juan Soto signs for $765 million, but also demanded a suite for him and his family.
For home games.
Right.
Okay.
So here's my question.
Fair.
You were a very highfalutin player, had signed multiple nice deals. You were a Pro Bowler, a Super Bowl champion. At any point, high maintenance.
Okay.
At any point, did you demand a suite as a part of your contract?
No.
So you had to pay for you.
Six-pack?
Okay.
Yes.
6-pack or something?
TJ asked for a case of dip
in my locker every
Can I
game.
keep? Yes. Can I keep the pin?
One roll and a 12-pack. Yes.
Soto gets a suite. TJ gets a spit bottle.
I think that's pretty common with high-end players.
You were a high-end player.
Offensive lineman, quarterbacks.
True or false? You were not one of the highest-paid guards in football. You were high-end.
Top 10.
And you have a SAG card. So
that's true. I still get royalties.
Have you seen Pitch Perfect?
I still get royalties from that.
The point I'm making.
About $11 a month if you wanted to know.
You're almost like Seinfeld.
For a new bottle.
Like, can you just send me one every 10 years?
Jesus.
I'm not motivated to go to the bank for a $6.43 check.
Sorry, direct deposit. Just take the photo.
We'll get to the picks next.